Let's take a look at the tail of the tape for our upcoming matchup. Take us through it, Jonathan. What do you see?
Stephen O'Brien talked to me at great length at the pre-fight interviews. He said, you know what, man? This is my pro fight debut. The first fight only lasted 12 seconds, Todd. 12 seconds, and he put the lights out. He said, I've been training harder for this fight than I was for the first one. I expect to see a very dangerous Stephen O'Brien, but Anthony Zaragosa, you see that tattoo across his chest. He's got that wrestling pedigree, and when you have that, you can rely on the ground game all the time. So this should be one hell of a fight.
Rain Cruz here to set the stage.
UNF fans, this fight is set for 3 rounds in the welterweight division. Your referee in charge, Chris Lieben. Introducing first, standing at 6 feet tall, weighing in at 175 pounds, representing Elite MMA and fighting out of Oxnard, California, Anthony Zaragosa. And his opponent, standing at 6'1", weighing in at 174 pounds, representing Saxon Muay Thai and fighting out of Los Angeles, California, by way of Chicago, Illinois, Steve O'Brien.
Stage is set for this battle in the welterweight division, 170 pounds. The crippler, Chris Lieben, there to officiate the action. Always great to see him in there as part of the commission, as part of UpNext. 2 fighters young in their professional careers, both with 1 fight under their belt, but at opposite ends of the spectrum thus far in the win-loss column. Zaragosa, he's got to use that wrestling. You don't want to get in a striking war with the boogeyman. Boogeyman using that range early with the body kick.
Oh, he's got hands, Todd. Boy, does he have hands.
Just asked Zadorian. It only took him 12 seconds.
Oh, he clipped him with a right there.
Yeah, Zaragosa really tough, though. Trying to change levels here, looking for that takedown.
Switching to the single, trying to transition to the high crouch.
Slam coming, no. Wards it off there. Did the boogeyman. Zaragosa just built like a wrestler.
Oh, beautiful trip. But a reversal from Zaragosa, who's trying to take the back of O'Brien here.
Well, we're just up the freeway from Disneyland. They took a ride on the teacups there. Didn't know where that was going to end, but trying to take the back here is Zaragosa. And looking for a takedown again. O'Brien going to try and turn off this cage here if he can. And this is smart. Keep the fight in the phone booth, keep him close, nullify some of that lethal striking of O'Brien.
Yeah, O'Brien's got that range, he's got that power, and Zaragosa is just breaking down the range now, taking all the starch away from those strikes, bringing the fight up close and personal, fighting in a hula hoop here if you would, Todd.
Spinning off the cage as O'Brien gets the distance. That's going to be his best friend. This one already lasting much longer than his first fight of O'Brien that only went 12 seconds, looking for the big lead right hook. And that jab could be a big weapon for the boogeyman as well if he elects to use it.
Working out of that southpaw stance, working behind that right hand. Stephen O'Brien shaking his head, all smiles so far here.
Well, this is what O'Brien wanted. He wanted to be tested. And he's looking at that time, a big body shot uppercut attempt by Zaragosa. Zaragosa's not backing down at all.
No, he's staying right in the face of O'Brien. And he's got to, if he wants to win this fight, he's got to break down that range, get inside, and do what he did earlier, Todd. Make this fight the dirty boxing, make it a grind.
O'Brien, a competitive kickboxer as well with a winning record, and that's the skill set that he is putting on display thus far. Straight left.
Wouldn't be surprised to see O'Brien go to the body with the kick as he does right there. The right elbow of Zaragosa very high, opening up the midsection.
And does the striking, Jonathan, who starts to unload it now is O'Brien. Does that make a wrestler second guess shooting in for a takedown? You don't want to get caught on the way in.
You know, they talk about it all the time. How do you make a black belt a brown belt? You punch him in the face. How do you make a brown belt a purple belt? you punch him in the face. And that's exactly what Stephen O'Brien is doing here. He's controlling his opponent, not letting him bring the fight to the mat, and starting to land these big shots when he creates a little bit of space.
Zaragosa caught a big right hand, though. Looking very confident and collected right now, and in control is Stephen O'Brien, but keeping those hands very low as well. Got to be careful.
Yeah, but he's comfortable with his hands low because he knows he's fighting a wrestler who doesn't have that striking pedigree that he has. He can see everything coming from his hips and react to it. So it's not showboating. He's actually creating openings by doing that.
Minute and a half to go now in the first of 3 scheduled 5-minute rounds here in the welterweight division. Human game of chess, striker, grappler, going toe-to-toe, the age-old battle. Another chapter in that right here at UpNext Fighting.
And you see, if you see any weakness in Zaragosa, it's the softness of the body. And you see O'Brien testing that with the kicks. I talked about it earlier. He's keeping that right elbow really high and leaving the midsection open for the kicks.
Yeah, and if he keeps going low with the leg kicks as well, does O'Brien, that's going to take away some of the effectiveness away of shooting in for the takedown of Zaragosa as well.
Not only that, Todd, but the openings to the body create openings for the head, because as you land, you bring your elbows down to try to protect the affected area, and you leave your head open. That's what O'Brien's trying to do. He's trying to tap the body and then go back upstairs to the head. It's as far as boxing control, that's the Mickey Ward style, body, head, and that's exactly what he's trying to do.
Oh, look at this. The shoe on the other foot. Single leg attempt by Stephen O'Brien, trying to steal a page out of the Zaragosa playbook. Your thoughts on this with only seconds
Able
to go?
to get the takedown, but Zaragosa looking to create a scramble here. 50-50 position so far.
We'll be right back, and round 2 is up next.
UNF fighters are the future of the fight game. Check out UpNextFighting.com for tickets and live streams of upcoming events, view fighter profiles, and connect with us on social media for exclusive behind-the-scenes content. Up Next Fighting, the future of the fight game.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's take another look back at the action.
Yeah, you see Zaragosa trying to keep the pressure on the chest of O'Brien, working behind the jab to get entry inside the hips. He was able to get the fight to the mat momentarily, but O'Brien actually quick to get back to his feet. You see this beautiful trip, but Zaragosa able to reverse position, there. What a back and forth, the ebb and flow as the tide keeps going here. Great first round.
Both dip their toe into the offensive playbook of their opponent in the first round. How do you see it after one score-wise?
I have to give it to Stephen O'Brien with the effective striking. Anthony Zaragosa did score a takedown, but he was unable to do anything with it. O'Brien scored a takedown at the end of the fight. It was sort of a 50-50 position, even though he ended up on top. I give that first round to Stephen O'Brien.
Round 2 underway here at UpNext Fighting. It's time to fight on. And Zaragosa, though, throughout this, even though despite the lightning-fast 12-second knockout victory by O'Brien in his debut here at UpNext, Zaragosa seems apt to stand and throw with O'Brien.
Yeah, but he's doing a good job of creating entries behind his hands. He's breaking down the range and trying to get into the hips of O'Brien. O'Brien's effectively done a good job of preventing that so far. But let's see if Zaragosa can put something together here and work behind the jab.
Zaragosa with the right there moments ago. Back to a standing affair here between the boogeyman, Stephen O'Brien, out of the red corner, and Anthony Zaragosa fighting out of the blue corner. You got Elite MMA for Zaragosa taking on Saxon Muay Thai. You don't want to be cornered here.
Oh, my goodness! He got clipped! Oh, my Lord, Todd!
Tim Burr! The striker might get outstruck here by the grappler. Zaragosa, sense of urgency. Looking for the hip toss, takedown. And now, the arm is seized. My goodness, where did that come from, Jonathan?
That's what happens. You don't want to hook with a hooker, and that's exactly. Oh, Zaragosa just got popped.
Better watch out. Don't fight fire with fire. We said that O'Brien was very comfortable on his feet. Maybe he lured himself into a false sense of security, but that might go either way here. Get your cameras ready. Somebody might be going down.
Yeah, you got to be very, very careful if you're Anthony Zaragosa. Do not fall in love with the striking. Still work behind that wrestling, still work behind the jab, and maintain the game plan that you've effectively been doing so far.
Boy, caught O'Brien, though, with a big shot and floored him. O'Brien eats that one, barely flinched. What are these two made of?
Both of these guys have granite in their chin, but Todd, even granite can fracture. Both these guys breathing through wide open mouths, absolutely exhausted here.
This has been a battle, both trying to give as good as they get. You've seen both look for the takedown, both looking to throw the big strikes, both trying to take the advantage in this thing and take home a victory. And for Zaragosa, if he gets it, it'll be the first of his career.
He got caught again!
O'Brien's in trouble, and the boogeyman's got some serious fear in him now. Zaragosa not to be undone. Zaragosa's got to be careful he doesn't gas himself out, though. But O'Brien, my gosh, that's the second time that he's been rocked in this thing.
Yeah, he's rocked, he's been reeling, but he's still a very, very dangerous fighter, Todd.
Sure is. He's got that kickboxing pedigree. He might be one shot away at all times. But Zaragosa, did you think that he would beat O'Brien to the punch?
You know, when you break down that range, anything can happen, and he's got heavy hands. He's certainly got dynamite in that right hand. He's landed it a couple times to the chin of O'Brien. He's felled him twice so far.
O'Brien, 7 years older than Zaragosa. And O'Brien, that gas tank might be depleting here, Jonathan.
Both these fighters absolutely saturated with sweat.
A minute to go now in the round. This has been...
Oh! Big right hand, that's gonna be it! Oh my Lord!
Chris Lieben's seen enough, and O'Brien's still trying to fight, but man, Zaragosa beating the boogeyman at his own game.
Boy, he uncorked that right hand, and it absolutely robbed O'Brien of all his equilibrium.
We'll be right back to take another look at the action and make it all official.
UNF fighters are the future of the fight game. Check out UpNextFighting.com for tickets and live streams of upcoming events, view fighter profiles, and connect with us on social media for exclusive behind-the-scenes content. Up Next Fighting, the future of the fight game.
Action-packed round. We're going to take a look back at some of that action. There was a lot of it. I guess you could say TNT, and Zaragosa was dynamite. There you see
the left hand, Todd, that dropped him. Pure power behind that left. And there's the right hand that clipped him. You do, like I said, Todd, you do not want to hook with a hooker. And here comes the finish.
Yeah, well, and hanging in there. And at that point, O'Brien was moving in slow motion. But I'm sure we'll get a look at it here momentarily.
Rocked with a right-left combination. Left hand touches the chin again. Zaragosa changing levels, going to the body.
And I think the gas tank we mentioned was depleted as well, which left O'Brien susceptible to the shot that would eventually end the fight. He was on rubbery legs, but there you go.
Straight right hand on the button. Good night, Irene.
What a win that was. That'll even out his record, scores a big victory in emphatic fashion. Scaring, putting the fear into the boogeyman as we head back to the cage to make it all official.
UNF fans, referee Chris Lieben has called a stop to this fight at 4 minutes and 7 seconds of round number 2, declaring your winner by TKO, Anthony Zaragosa!
Zaragosa didn't need a night light against the boogeyman. It was lights out.